Hello everybody, this is Bradley from RaceBeacon, and just for this video I've been pulled out of my revision for the literally third from final test I have at all of university, which is kind of insane. But there's been a lot of F1 news today, and I just wanted to make a quick video going over it because I think we're going to need a bit of a summary to really tell what's going on, because there are maybe two and a bit major stories going on today. So let's just get a quick summary. Now, obviously, ignore this feed for now. There are three situations to look at. First one is quite a positive one. Istanbul could be returning to the Formula 1 calendar for 1 or 2 years down the line. That's great. That's not controversial. Everyone loves Istanbul, and that is the happiest story that we're getting out of the way today. The next two are quite serious. So we're starting off with the news that supposedly, amid the just absolute turmoil going on at Red Bull at the moment within that upper management, and there's a real power struggle, I think it's a bit of a Helmut, Marko and Jos Verstappen attempt for a coup. After, obviously, Dietrich Mateschitz unfortunately passed away, and now there's all of this going on with Christian Horner. The timing's no coincidence. There is a clear and marked effort to get rid of Christian Horner from Jos Verstappen, from Helmut Marko, and sort of really now everybody at the upper end of that Red Bull hierarchy. So the story is, supposedly it was decided that Christian Horner would be sacked, and then Christian Horner basically said no and sent legal representatives in to go fight his case. And he ended up not getting sacked when the independent panel looked at it, and it came back fine. And then it all gets even messier from that. If you thought the Christian Horner story in itself was messy, you now, as I say, have this power struggle where Helmut Marko and Jos Verstappen are really pushing to try to seize power at Red Bull. I'm not really sure what their end game is here, but it's definitely to get rid of Christian Horner. We know that much. So we have this story that at the moment Max Verstappen is the hottest candidate for the Mercedes seat alongside George Russell. Well, that came out of nowhere. Helmut Marko is concerned that the turbulence in the team, he's concerned that the turbulence in the team could drive away not only Verstappen, but also Adrian Newey. And future engine partner Ford, which we'll get onto in a second. Team boss Horner apparently believes that things can be done without his key figures. So Christian Horner, obviously, he doesn't want to be sacked. He has run Red Bull right from the start when it's been Red Bull. Really, it's his team. I don't think Helmut Marko and Jos Verstappen are too happy with that, which is why all of this is being briefed out to the media now. Jos Verstappen made some comments about Christian Horner at the Bahrain Grand Prix last weekend. That means he will not be attending the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix this weekend. So Verstappen Senior and Horner were seen having a heated argument the night before the Bahrain Grand Prix, although apparently the Dutchman came back to apologise later, and maybe the feelings have still not quite fully resolved based on the rest of this. So it's not necessarily the story we're looking at here, it's the fact that all of this is just getting leaked, and who's leaking it? It's someone in the know at Red Bull. Christian Horner's not leaking this because he has nothing to gain. Whoever is leaking this is trying to put pressure on Christian Horner to leave, to resign, to stand down. Because apparently, well, if he doesn't, Adrian Newey's going to leave. Max Verstappen's got an exit clause in his contract. Everyone's going to be leaving. It's going to be terrible. Helmut Marko is going to be leaving. So apparently this gets leaked as well. An exit clause exists in Max Verstappen's contract that allows him to leave Red Bull immediately. According to this clause, he is free to leave if Helmut Marko leaves Red Bull. With the quote today to Auto, Motor and Sport from Helmut Marko saying that, as far as I'm concerned, I won't stand in Max's way with regards to a Mercedes move. And then we have more, which is apparently this has now been leaked today as well. Ford is currently checking whether the already agreed partnership with Red Bull can still be dissolved. The bosses in Detroit are rumoured to have no interest in getting involved in a drama at Red Bull. Which is weird because it doesn't really concern them too much, but it gives us an idea of if, there is any truth behind this leak. That things, it's clear that things are very serious behind the scenes right now at Red Bull. The on-track image is, that is an untouchable car, and Verstappen is absolutely bossing it, and, Checo put in a good performance in Bahrain as well. But fundamentally, off-track, Red Bull's kind of imploding at the moment. And if Mercedes do want to come in and try to sign Max Verstappen on some massive, they've been paying Hamilton's massive contract for so long. Give Max that contract. They've got the money. It's no issue. So yeah, if you're in Mercedes' position, absolutely go try to get Max. And maybe there's an element in it for Max as well, if we're just going to question the legitimacy of these claims. In my opinion, this is all just completely, it's all posturing. It's all trying to force Christian Horner into resigning, because if he doesn't, the whole establishment of Red Bull is going to crumble. That's what they're trying to get across. Ford are going to pull out, who'll be the engine providers. Verstappen, the star driver's going to go. Adrian Newey, the star designer's going to go, and Helmut Marko, long-standing head of the team, is also going to go, because yeah, they want him out. So they're threatening all of this stuff. They're leaking all of this to the media. It's interesting. But if we're looking at the legitimacy of whether Verstappen would go to Mercedes, there probably is an element of it. He's basically guaranteed to win the championship this year. I don't think there's any doubt about it. We've only had one race, but there is no doubt he's winning the championship this year. Unless, you know, Bahrain was some miracle track for that car, but there's nothing to suggest that whatsoever. So he should have the title wrapped up probably quicker than last year, to be honest. Maybe he wants a challenge. He's got 4 championships under his belt by the end of this season. Who's to say he doesn't just want to go to Mercedes, who will always be the second or third quickest team, and try to mount a challenge on whoever is the quickest? You know, there's only so long in your career that you can be in a dominant car and not get a little bit bored, you know? Who's to say he doesn't go, you know what, let's just do it, because he'll probably get a crap ton of money for the contract as well. Why not? Again, do I think that's going to happen? No, not really. But the driver market this year is going to be crazy. If not Verstappen, it could be Alonso, it could be Kimi Antonelli. You know, so many drivers could be taking that Mercedes role. It's going to be really interesting. Next story! Mohammed Ben Sulayem, the FIA president, is under investigation for alleged attempt to interfere over F1 race. This is the 2023 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso got given a 10-second time penalty for work being done on his car during a 5-second stop-go penalty that he had to service. And yeah, that's really the story here. Mohammed Ben Sulayem, he wasn't happy about that penalty and apparently sort of intervened, telling someone higher up in the FIA organisation to step in and stop the penalty being given. There's no, but what this is again, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, he has spent much of his, what's it now, like 2 or 3 years? I can't remember how long he's been FIA president, but probably 3 or 4 now, I can't remember. With his job under pressure, or his role under pressure, for a surprisingly high amount of that time for an FIA president, he's never really been able to establish himself the way that former FIA presidents have. And there's always been some kind of scandal, whether it's, someone at the FIA bringing up old comments that he made, him in a bit of a war with Formula One management who want to get rid of him because he's he's anti-street circuit, he's anti-Saudi Arabian companies buying the sport, when that was rumoured to be happening, so on. There's a lot going on there that FOM don't like, because the FIA is a non-profit organisation. The FOM is. That categorically is, and they had record profits last year. And they don't like him. So anything that can come out here to try to sort of destabilise Mohammed Ben Sulayem's sort of authority and his standing within the sport, they're absolutely going to take. And this is another chapter in that ongoing saga. How long will this guy be able to be FIA president? I genuinely have no idea. It's just scandal after scandal. Red Bull's imploding. We've got scandal after scandal for the FIA president. But Turkey is coming back to the grid in the future. So I class today as a win. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you're new here, please do subscribe. And until next time, enjoy your day. See you later.